Good evening. Let's read some more. I did finish eating and my apartment is very hot. 30 degrees. I like to read more my aircraft. I never get finished. Yes, I need half a minute to get to my bed.
Wright R-3350 Duplex-Cyclone. This article needs additional citations for verification. Please help improve this article by adding citations to reliable sources in this article. Unsourced material may be challenged and removed. Find sources: Wright R-3350 Duplex-Cyclone News Times Newspapers Times Books Times Scholar Times Chester, January 2009. Learn how and when to remove this message. The Wright R-3350 Duplex-Cyclone is an American twin-row, supercharged, air-cooled, radial aircraft engine with 18 cylinders displacing nearly 3,350 cubic inches, 54.9 L. Power ranged from 2,200 to 3,700 HP, 1,640 to 2,760 kilowatts, depending on model. Developed before World War II, the R-3350's design required a long time to mature, and was still experiencing problems with reliability when used to power the Boeing B-29 Superfortress. After the war, the engine had matured sufficiently to be used in many civilian airliners, notably in its turbo-compound forms, and was used in the Lockheed L-1049 Super Constellation airliners into the 1950s. Its main rival was the 4360 in, 71.4 L, 4300 HP, 3200 kilowatts. Pratt & Whitney R-4360 Wasp Major, which first ran some 7 years after the Duplex-Cyclone. The engine is commonly used on Hawker Sea Fury and Grumman F-8F Bearcat Unlimited class racers at the Reno Air Races. Design and Development, Edit. In 1927, Wright Aeronautical introduced its Cyclone engine, which powered a number of designs in the 1930s. After merging with Curtiss to become Curtiss-Wright in 1929, an effort was started to design an engine in the 1000 HP, 750 kilowatts, class. The new Wright R-1820 Cyclone 9 first ran in 1935, and became one of the most used aircraft engines in the late 1930s and early 1940s, powering the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress heavy bomber, General Motors FM-2 Wildcat fighter and Douglas SBD Dauntless dive bomber, among many others. By 1931, Pratt & Whitney had started a development of their single-row Wasp 9-cylinder engine into the larger and much more powerful 14-cylinder, twin-row R-1830 twin Wasp with a similar 1800 in, 30L, displacement that would easily compete with the single-row Cyclone. In 1935, Wright followed P&W's lead, and developed larger engines based on the Cyclone. The result was two designs, a 14-cylinder short-stroke design of nearly 2,600 in, 43L, displacement that would evolve into the Wright R-2600 twin Cyclone, and a much larger 18-cylinder design that became the R-3350. a larger twin-row 22-cylinder version, the Wright R-4090 Cyclone 22, was experimented with as a competitor to the 4360 in 71.4 L, displacement 40, 28-cylinder Pratt & Whitney R-4360 Wasp Major, but was not produced. With Pratt & Whitney starting development of their own 2800 in 46L, displacement 18-cylinder, twin-row radial as the R2800 Double Wasp in 1937, Wright's first R3350 prototype engines with a 3350 in 54.9L displacement were run in May of the same year. Development was slow, due to the complexity, and the R2600 receiving development priority. The R3350 did not fly until 1941, after the Douglas XB-19 had been redesigned to use R3350S instead of Allison V3420 inlines. Things changed dramatically in 1940 with the introduction of a new contract by the USAC to develop a long-range bomber capable of flying from the US to Germany with 20,000 pound, 9,100 kilograms, of bombs. Although smaller than the Bomber D designs that led to the Douglas XB-19, the new designs required just as much power. When 4 preliminary designs were presented in mid-1940, 3 of them used the R3350. Suddenly development was a priority, and serious efforts to get it into production began. In 1942 Chrysler started building the Dodge Chicago plant, which was ready by early 1944. Wright R3350 turbo compound radial engine. 2 exhaust recovery turbines shown outside impeller casing area, top, silver, and lower, red blading, that are geared to the crankshaft. By 1943 the new Boeing B-29 Superfortress was flying with R3350S. The engines remained temperamental, and the rear cylinders tended to overheat, partially due to inadequate clearance between the cylinder baffles and the cowl. A number of changes were introduced to improve cooling, and the aircraft was rushed into service in the Pacific in 1944. This proved unwise, as the early B-29s taking off at maximum weights, in the high temperature conditions of the B-29's tropical airfields, caused overheating that was not completely solved, and the engines also had a tendency to swallow valves. Because of a high magnesium content in the crankcase, engine fires could burn with a core temperature approaching 5,600 degrees Fahrenheit, 3,090 degrees Celsius, which could burn through the main spar in seconds, causing a catastrophic failure. Early R3350s used carburetors, though the poorly designed elbow entrance to the supercharger led to serious problems with fuel forward/air mixtures. Near the end of World War II, the system was changed to use gasoline direct injection, which improved reliability. After the war the engine was redesigned and became popular for large aircraft, notably the Lockheed Constellation and Douglas DC-7. Following the war, the turbo compound system was developed to deliver better fuel efficiency. In these versions, 3 power recovery turbines, PRT, were inserted into the exhaust of each group of 6 cylinders, and geared to the crankshaft by fluid couplings to deliver more power. The PRTs recovered about 20% of the exhaust energy, around 450 HP, 340 kilowatts, that would have otherwise been lost, but reduced engine reliability. Mechanics nicknamed them parts recovery turbines, since the increased exhaust heat meant a return to the engine destroying exhaust valves. The fuel burn for the PRT-equipped aircraft was nearly the same as the older Pratt & Whitney R2800, while producing more useful power. Effective the 15th of October, 1957, the 3/4/4 engine cost $88,200. By this point reliability had improved, with the mean time between overhauls at 3,500 hours and specific fuel consumption in the order of 0.4 pound/HP/hour, 243 g/kWh, giving a 34% fuel efficiency. Engines in use as of the 2020s are limited to 52 nhg, 180 kPa, manifold pressure, giving 2,880 HP, 2,150 kilowatts, with 100/130 octane fuel, or 100 ll, instead of the 59.5 nhg, 201 kPa, and 3,400 HP, 2,500 kilowatts, possible with 115/145, a higher octane fuel, which is no longer available. Several racers at the Reno Air Races use R-3350s. Modifications on one Rare Bear include a nose case designed for a slow-turning prop, taken from an R-3350 used on the Lockheed L-1649 Starliner, mated to the power section, crankcase, crank, pistons, and cylinders, taken from an R-3350 used on the Douglas DC-7. The supercharger is taken from an R-3350 used on the Lockheed DC-121, and the engine is fitted with nitrous oxide injection. Normal rated power of the original stock R-3350 was 2,800 HP, 2,100 kilowatts, at 2,600 RPM and 45 nhg, 150 kPa, of manifold pressure. With these modifications, Rare Bear's engine produces 4,000 HP, 3,000 kilowatts, at 3,200 RPM and 80 nhg, 270 kPa, of manifold pressure, and 4,500 HP, 3,400 kilowatts, with nitrous oxide injection. Variants, edit. R-3350-13, 2,200 shp, 1,640 kilowatts. R-3350-23, 2,200 shp, 1,640 kilowatts. R-3350-24W, 2,500 shp, 1,860 kilowatts. R-3350-26W, 2,800 shp, 2,090 kilowatts. R-3350-30W, R-3350-30WA, R-3350-32W, 3,700 shp, 2,760 kilowatts. R-3350-34, 3,400 shp, 2,540 kilowatts. R-3350-35, 2,200 shp, 1,640 kilowatts. R-3350-41, fuel-injected silver plate variant. R-3350-42WA, 3,800 shp, 2,830 kilowatts. R-3350-53, 2,700 shp, 2,010 kilowatts. R-3350-57, 2200 shp, 1640 kilowatts. R-3350-85, 2500 shp, 1860 kilowatts. R-3350-89, 3500 shp, 2610 kilowatts. R-3350-93W, 3500 shp, 2610 kilowatts. 972TC18 The 1. Commercial equivalent to the -30W without water injection. 956C18CA1. Commercial, similar to the -26 watts. 975C18CB1. Commercial, similar to the 956C18CA1. Applications, edit. 1 Beechcraft XA38 Grizzly, 2 Boeing B-29 Super Fortress, 3 Boeing XC-97 Straight-Off Freighter, 4 Boeing XP-BBC Ranger, 5 Canadair CP-107 Argus, 6 Consolidated B-32 Dominator, 7 Curtiss XBTC-2, 8 Curtiss XF-14C, 9 Curtiss XP-62, 10 Douglas A-1 Skiraider, 11 Douglas BTD Destroyer, 12 Douglas DC-7, 13 Douglas XB-19, 14 Douglas XB-31, 15 Fairchild C-119 Flying Boxcar, 16 Fairchild AC-119, 17 Grumman F-8F Bearcat, see the rare bear, 18 Hawker Sea Fury, 19 Lockheed Constellation, 20 Lockheed L-049 Constellation, 21 Lockheed C-69 Constellation, 22 Lockheed L-649 Constellation, 23 Lockheed L-749 Constellation, 24 Lockheed L-1049 Super Constellation, 25 Lockheed C-121 Constellation, 26 Lockheed R-7V1 Constellation, 27 Lockheed EC-121 Warning Star, 28 Lockheed L-1649 Starliner, 29 Lockheed P-2 Neptune, 30 Lockheed XB-30, 31 Martin JRM Mars, 32 Martin XB-33 Super Marauder, 33 Martin P-5M Mullen, 34 Strukov YC-134. Engines on display, edit. This section does not cite any sources. Please help improve this section by adding citations to reliable sources. Unsourced material may be challenged and removed. June 2022. Learn how and when to remove this message. 1 Wright R-3350-89 is on public display at the Aerospace Museum of California. 2 Wright R-3350 is on public display at Flyhistorisk Museum, Sola, near Stavanger, Norway. 3 Wright R-3350-35 is on public display at Texas Air Museum, Stinson Chapter, San Antonio, Texas. 4 Wright R-3350 is on public display in the Mackenzie Engineering Building at Carleton University, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. 1 R-3350 on display at the Air Zoo. 2 R-3350 on display at Museum of Aviation, Robbins AFB. 3 R-3350 on display at Carleton University. Specifications: R-3350 C18BA, edit. Data from James. General characteristics. 1 type, twin-row 18-cylinder radial engine. 2-bore, 6 plus 1/8 in, 155.6 millimeters. 3-stroke, 6 plus 5/16 in, 160.3 millimeters. 4 displacement, 3,347.9 in, 54.862 L. 5 length, 76.26 inches, 1,937 millimeters. 6 diameter, 55.78 inches, 1,417 millimeters. 7 dry weight, 2,670 pounds, 1,210 kilograms. Components: 1 valve train, pushrod, 2 valves per cylinder. 2 supercharger, 2-speed single stage. 3 fuel system, Chandler-Evans dome draft carburetor. 4 fuel type, 100 forward/130 RON. 5 oil system, dry sump. 6 cooling system, air-cooled. Performance: 1 power output, 2,200 HP, 1,600 kilowatts, at 2,800 RPM, takeoff. 2 specific power, 0.66 HP forward/in cubed. 3 compression ratio, 6.851. 4 specific fuel consumption, takeoff, 0.38 pound forward/HPH, 0.17 kilogram forward/HPH, 0.23 kilogram forward/kilowatt-hour. 5 power to weight ratio, 0.82 HP forward/pound. See also, edit. 1 Pratt & Whitney Wasp series. Related development. 1 Wright Cyclone series. 2 Wright R1350 Cyclone 7. 3 Wright R1820 Cyclone 9. 4 Wright R2600 Cyclone 14. 5 Wright R4090 Cyclone 22. Comparable engines. 1 BMW 802. 2 Bristol Centaurus. 3 Dobrinin VD4K. 4 Nomron 18L. 5 Nakajima Homer. 6 Pratt & Whitney R4360 Wasp Major. 7 Schwitzofash 73. Related lists. 1 List of aircraft engines. References, edit. Notes, edit.